shit, we haven't introed it. Fuck.
Wait, I was wondering, like, are we going yet? We should
Podcast is over. Thank you for
fucking
watching the Hungover Pod.
Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Welcome to another podcast on the internet starring four men, where the whole point of the podcast is preamble, and then be like,
Or
"Wait, did we
White
start
Men,
this?"
the
No, we're
podcast.
Welcome to the only podcast that's guaranteed to extend your penis.
It has been verified by doctors and by various porn stars. It definitely increases the size of your peen.
Scientists are currently doing research on the audio files. They've had a warrant for kind of like a search, and they're trying to analyze how exactly this technology works.
You guys ever wonder, like, say the NSA just dumps all of their private data, like they make it public. How fucked are you?
Oh,
I think it's less of a question of how fucked am I. I think that the question is how would everyone react?
Yeah, I
as
feel
a
like that would
whole.
change. I feel like that would change the entire discourse of like American society.
I feel like there would just be riots in the streets, honestly.
Probably, maybe.
my question is, are we going all the way back to like my first search on the internet of like all time? Like, because I was a pretty edgy like middle schooler, like freshman high school times. So I'm pretty sure if they picked that out, I wouldn't have a job ever.
Maybe, but also I feel like a lot of the conversation, like as like social media has like evolved and gone through its paces, is like, yeah, I know if you did stuff like 10 years ago, like own it. Don't like just try and hide it, but also like, are you doing better or are you doing the same shit? At least in my point of view, I think that's where a lot of the conversation has gone. Like, you'll still get people that are gonna fucking drag you through the mud for something that you did 15 years ago as a stupid bit because you were a teenager, right? But like, I don't think, unless you were like being the worst racist or something like that, I feel like most people would be fine. Also, I feel like a lot of people would just go after the bigger fish rather than the small fries like you and me, but it'd be out there.
Well,
It would
that's the
be
thing
out
that
there,
gets
but
me.
I feel a lot of us are under the radar enough to where most people would not care.
Well,
I feel like
you say that now. This podcast is about to blow up.
oh yeah, we get the tens
You're
of
right.
viewers, tens of viewers.
Yeah,
Tens of
of
viewers.
viewers. Yeah.
Yeah, there is, there's a server somewhere in Silicon Valley, and it's gonna start a fire, and they're gonna blame us.
They're gonna blame us.
Plonk, you want to explain that Google search that you did 6 years ago on July 16th at 5:45 p.m.?
Okay, hold on. 6 years ago, that was 2016, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say around July of 2016, I was. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. Take a phone call.
I also.
What the fuck?
That is an admission of guilt right there.
Hey, Condor, cut around this.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut around this. Holy
Cut
shit.
around this.
Okay. Phone call's over. Okay.
Jesus, no, but Pitch is gone. Pitch went to go piss. Because you were on a phone call.
Certified Hood Classic.
Dude, actually a certified hood classic.
Nice.
Classified as a hood classic.
Let's see. Okay. 2016 was a big year for me. I had to move in the summer. I want to say that's kind of when I started kind of making. I didn't publish any music, but I would make recordings of stuff from my MIDI keyboard. Yeah, I started high school. Anything questionable I might have Googled at that time? I don't know.
I know if they pulled up my old Facebook, because I did delete a lot of stuff off my Facebook when I got older.
Yeah.
But if they were able to pull up the old like I used to be like one of those edgy dudes who like, oh, it's 50% but 13% at the same time type of shit. You know?
Oh
Do
no.
that.
When I was-
Yeah, I was one of those guys.
No,
Yeah,
no, Connor, no.
I've grown out of that. Don't worry, I don't do that
I'm
anymore.
happy. I'm happy about
Yeah.
that.
But 14-year-old Condiddle would 100% quote some crime statistics.
Yeah,
So
when I was
I-
like
part of-
15, I definitely made some very edgy Holocaust jokes, which was interesting since I.
Oh, boy.
I mean, you're not really. That's like black people joking about black people. You're not really doing anything wrong there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see it differently, but.
That's valid. I see. I don't know. Like I cleaned off a lot of like just like the cringy like stuff that I post on my Facebook. Like I'll just keep using Facebook as an example. But like I was always like super shy online. However, there are definitely some chat logs that I'm like I don't know how I would defend this. I wasn't like edgy per se. I was just very socially like naive and stupid. You can read that as I apparently texted the N-word a lot.
Oh.
Like a lot. But also I'm not going to say it's where I grew up because I grew up in a very like cultured place. It's just I didn't fully understand because I was a stupid kid. So like but also like I feel like if everyone's dirty laundry is out there, I feel like a lot of us can't judge one another because it's like, well, if you're going to judge me for the shit I did when I was like a stupid 14, 15, 16-year-old, like I'm just going to do the same to you. Like we've all been on the internet long enough that I feel that everyone has some skeletons in the closet that either they have acknowledged and moved past or just don't want to talk about because that was 10 years ago. What the fuck does that have to do with right now?
Yeah. Like that's what I feel like about like all those Twitter discussions where it's like, oh, I'm holier than thou, and they bring up a tweet from like 2013, and it's like, yeah, they're probably a lot better now though.
Yeah, like they don't... James Gunn is a really good example of that. Like, yeah, dude did some stupid shit, but that was also like what when they pulled the tweet, it was like 10, 15 years ago or something like that. Oh, yeah. Like it was a long ass time ago. Like
Kyle
especially
Kyle Kalinske is one of my favorite ones because there's one tweet that it's inwards is hungry, and it constantly gets tweeted, but it's from like 2010. It's like, man hasn't said that word since then.
Yeah, no, and especially like if you're like in like our age range, or you're like early mid-20s, like like you are different from when you were like 18 and like 16 and 20. Like I was 5 whole persons ago when I was 18, you know? Like I am not that person. I will never ever be that person again. I can never be that person again, you know? But I'm not also going to like be like, "Oh, I'm better because blah." No, that's fucking stupid. Like I was a shitter and I know I was a shitter and I've learned from my mistakes. Like that's how this whole thing goes.
All right, I'm back, guys. I had to do some sexual favors, but long story short, I have McDonald's now, so we're
let's
good.
go.
We're cruising.
Hey, tell your mom I'll see her later. All right, keep the bed warm for me.
Actually, I got to talk about sexual favors.
I did post this. Wait. I've been wanting to say this. So, when I was like 18-ish, I was like legit a fucking incel.
Yeah,
like,
I buy
actually.
it.
Oh, you buy it, huh? Why don't you?
Yeah,
fucking
you buy
it. Pidge, I've seen Gamer Pidge come out, like full blown Gamer Pidge that only comes from repressed incel rage.
To be fair, most of Gamer Pidge is a bit.
No, 100%. But like okay. You can say the joke is about your life, but you're still basing it on something that happened in your life. Yeah. No, like right. there are roots there. Yeah.
Without knowing anything about you, and if somebody just looked at your mugshot, they'd probably think that you're the kind of person that lies about having sex.
To be fair, if they looked at the picture you posted in the recording chat, they'd also think that about you. Because you look basically.
I'm fine with that because I've never had. God. I mean, yeah.
Love you, buddy.
You were saying, Paige, before I decide to absolutely dunk on you.
I don't remember. Continue with whatever the hell you were talking about before.
I don't know what the hell I was talking about. That's part of the issue.
I got something 100%. I wrote it down just so I remember this.
Okay,
so
go for it.
I was thinking about it. So now Mark Zuckerberg is now. The Facebook is now Meta, right? Like that's the company. Meta has now the metaverse.
Yes.
So they say that they're going to make it so you can live your own life in the metaverse. I just want to know when is the time I'm going to get the sloppiest of sloppy toppies in the metaverse, and I don't have to leave my chair.
Oh my god! So you think that there's going to be like e-girl, like, okay, so you know how unfortunately there's like illegal prostitution and pimps and stuff? When is that going to happen with like e-girls in the metaverse?
So I have a theory. I have 100% a theory. It's
Go
gonna be
for it.
You have a theorem?
blowjob NFTs.
Okay, continue.
So you buy this NFT, and that secures you a passage to go to this. You buy it from an e-girl, and that secures you passage to just get the sloppy toppy whenever needed.
Right.
Yeah.
I
So
actually
here's the
have
thing.
something
Have you ever heard of the auto
very
blow?
relevant. I have something very relevant to this.
Pidge has bought an NFT.
No.
Pitch on an auto blow.
Jikiki and I made an NFT, but didn't buy one, and nobody has bought mine.
Pitch, did you make your own auto blow?
The fuck is that? What is that?
That's
It's
basically
a
what
VR
Conidle was
sex.
describing, but it's a
Okay.
It
The
is
technology doesn't
an
exist.
autonomous fleshlight.
So here's this thing. It's called Meta Girlfriends.
Ew.
This is real, by the way. I'm going to post a link to this in chat.
No,
feel like
I
if
know
somebody
about
walked
this.
Up to
I've
me and
seen.
offered this service, I would actually throw up on
I
them.
have seen a lot of
Meta
people
girlfriends.
Oh my god!
Oh my
this
God,
looks so fucking awful. Why do all NFTs look like a fucking like? Oh, I'm in 8th grade. This is my fucking graphic design that I did. Ugh.
The
Like
thing
it's so
is, you
fucking
can
bad.
also see them. There's members only private content where
Of
you
course
can
there
go from
is.
seeing them clothed and then scantily clad and then butt ass naked.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Of course.
And
Reject NFTs, buy real trading cards.
or just buy a hooker. You know, fuck it.
Here at Hungover Hour podcast, we're very sex worker positive. So please thank your local
Yes.
sex workers.
Yes. Subscribe. There are many people out there you can subscribe to on OnlyFans. I fully support it, and be sure to tip them.
Thank you.
And tell them how
Thank
great
you,
they're
Joe.
doing.
Thank you, Candace.
Yeah. Next time you got a prostitute in the street, don't stab them in the back alley. Just pay them.
So
pay
instead of instead of like saluting like the thin blue line, can we just start saluting sex workers?
Yes, I fully support this.
It's just the thin pink line because it's the pussy.
Yeah, man. Ever since like, okay, so when I found out about prostitution, I was like 14 years old, and I was like, obviously you're
Damn,
still
you found
learning
out about that really late.
I don't actually know if I was 14, but I definitely was around 14 when I had this thought process. It might have been a bit earlier. I genuinely
I don't know if I
don't
was
know.
14, but I was definitely 14 when this happened.
Again, I don't know if I actually found out about it at that point. I probably knew about it, but I had definitely had this thought process around when I was like 13, 14. Like, I never understood why prostitution was illegal. And obviously, still to this day, I hold that. I don't understand why. Like, there was a reason, if at the very least, like a scare campaign to make it illegal or something. Because
It
like
was. I think. Sorry, go on.
Go on.
I think it was always illegal, at least in the U.S. anyway. It was always illegal just because of what the cultural landscape was back then.
Nah.
Well, I mean, no, but like definitely probably as like the U.S. started getting informed, but like early on, like prostitution was like an actual thing.
And states are opening up again with it anyway.
Yeah,
You know, if you go to
but it's
Nevada,
just
you can-
I never understood. I guess I've always been, not to toot my own horn, but I've always like had that like bodily autonomy, like thinking forward. Like I don't understand. Like if people want to do this and it's safe and it's clean, and everyone's consenting. I don't understand what the issue is here. I never
There's an answer. There's an answer to your question, and it's only 4 words.
hit me with them.
Old Christian white men.
That's probably 100% it. Like it's probably the reason why we have a war on drugs. I'm probably not far from the truth.
Funny thing, the reason why marijuana is 100% illegal in the U.S., like federally, is because in the 1930s, the FDA commissioner was trying to find a scare campaign for the U.S. to get more funding, and he found out that Americans really hate Mexicans, and Mexicans really love weed. So what he did was he perpetuated a campaign that marijuana causes Hispanic people to thirst for white women blood, and causes like I am not making this up. This is 100% fucking legit, and that causes psychosis, craziness, and like murderous tendencies. And since then, it has been illegal.
See, marijuana does the opposite to me. When I smoke weed, I crave Mexican women.
Damn
Same,
straight. I
bro.
want that big
Same.
booty Latina. Really
Same.
bad.
So I don't know what they were on about, but I mean,
Honestly, when I smoke weed, I just crave women blood. It doesn't matter,
Oh.
what ethnicity they are. I just need that ass. I don't care. What
Bitch,
race-
how old is your daughter?
mine and Pidge's daughter is turning 3 this year. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
Alright, I'll see myself out. Y'all have a good night.
And we're back.
And we're back.
We're back.
All right.
Thanks for watching the ad break.
So
I'm glad you guys didn't hear any of that.
kind of leaning into like the whole like sex talk. I got a story. So I posted this in our chat. The time that I accidentally seduced my gay coworker. So
Oh, yes. I wanted to.
context. I was 19 years old. I was working at an Outback, and for anyone that has worked at a restaurant before, everyone is doing one of two things usually simultaneously. Everyone is either on something, and everyone is everyone is usually fucking each other. I was definitely on some stuff, but I was not fucking everybody. I'm pretty shy in that regard. But so there's this coworker. We'll name him Greg. That's not his real name.
Am I pregnant?
Pregnant. He made me pregnant.
Oh, fuck.
That's the fan fiction name.
I don't try to put labels on people. Just as a rule, I just treat everyone as they are, and I'm just roll with whatever punches. And Greg was he definitely had the flair about him, And I didn't care to acknowledge that. I'm just like, yeah, Greg's cool. I just vibe with Greg. Me and him have this funny back and forth, haha, where you're homosexual and you're aggressively flirting with each other. So we just keep going back and forth. He says something, and I'd be like, "Ha! I'll fuck your butt," or something stupid like that, right? Just hold on. Now that I'm explaining this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'll let you fuck my ass, man.
No, it would be something like, "Man, these customers are fucking my ass right now because they're being difficult," and I'll be like, "I'll fuck your ass."
Okay, hold on. Okay,
Yeah.
Your boss walks in and he's like, all right, I got your W-2 for the year. Yeah, I'll fuck your butt.
I mean,
This is immediately retaliate.
so my manager, I'll talk about him another day. He's a fucking G. I love that man. But it was a lot of very forced, very aggressive, homosexual behavior, and this was also before I figured out I was pansexual. I was very much I think I'm mainly into women. I don't know. I was 19. I didn't know what the fuck I was. So this keeps going on back and forth for several weeks, and each time he's more and more responsive. It's not just haha, it's whatever. He glares me down and is checking me out. And then one day, I make some really bad joke to him, just because I'm always cracking some really bad jokes to try and get groans out of people. And I point at him to make the joke land or whatever. And he's like, "If you point at me again, I'm gonna bite your finger." So what do? I point at him, and I get really close, and he opens his finger to try and bite me, and I just shove my finger down his throat.
Oh.
At that moment, he recoils back and he just kind of looks at me like, "Oh, it's fucking on, big boy." There was something in that man's eye that he saw in me, and I didn't realize it until several years later. So anyway, that continues on. Again, we keep doing this playful flirty thing just because I'm apparently a giant flirt when I want to be. I can never turn it on. It just happens sometimes. I'm just oh, I've been flirting with this person for several months. That's not a good thing. What was that?
I said you can turn me on.
Oh my god, I know I do. So anyway, it's a busy night. Let me set the scene. It's a busy night. and me and him are like butting up against each other. The back room is like filled with all my coworkers. Everyone's going left, right, and center. Everyone's fucking rushing. It's a madhouse. And anyone that's been in a restaurant, like, the kitchen is not big. Like, there is enough room to kind of get through, but you're up against a lot of people a lot of the time. So me and Greg are at the drink fountain, and I'm like loading drinks onto the tray, getting water, and I turn around. Homie's dick is right up my ass. I'm not joking. Like, it's fucking in there. I turn around like, oh, hi, Greg. And he just like fucking what's the fucking anime trope where like dude puts hand on wall against like schoolgirl or whatever. He like does fucking that to me. He's like, so when are we gonna go out? And I went, and everything fucking clicked. Everything about this man just immediately like, oh no, I didn't realize he was gay because I was very naive. And he's just like, I'm just like, dude, I gotta get to my table. I'm sorry, man, I can't deal with this right now. Whatever. So night goes on. I have to stop by the bar to pick up drinks for a table. Greg comes around. I'm like carrying 2 beers in my hand. Homie sticks his finger right up my asshole while I'm carrying these drinks. And
what the fuck?
I don't know how to respond to that. So I like awkwardly laugh and be like, please don't do that, or like something to that effect. No, homie's finger hit the hole and it went in a little bit. He had precision in that finger. He knew where he was striking and he went in. So the night winds down and I'm putting stuff away and he corners me again. He's like, so when are we getting drinks? I'm like, I'm 19. I can't drink, even though like I'm fucking raging, not a raging alcoholic, but I'm partying a lot with a lot of my friends. Like, every other weekend, me and my friends are getting fucking blitzed. Don't underage drink, kids. That's illegal. Learn from my mistakes. And I just tell him like, hey, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry if I was like leading you on or whatever. That's just who I am. I reflect these things off of people. I don't think I am. And he's just like, well, you're a big boy. I can handle a big boy. And I'm a thicker man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bear. I'm a bear. And he's like 6'3". Dude's fucking toned. And sorry, I'm just like remembering all of this shit. And I'm like, oh my god. And I just like, I led him down like so gently. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. Like this was not my intention. I was just trying to make people laugh. And he's just like, flips off immediately. He hates me. For like a couple months, I say something, he just immediately talks shit to me, like to my face. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I legitimately hurt him, and I feel really bad.
You should invite Greg to this podcast.
I don't know where he is, and I am afraid to contact him. The last time me and Greg talked, I had just moved to where I am now. It was like maybe 3 or 4 months after I moved. And when I moved, there was a joke that I was going to have a threesome with my best friend. It didn't happen because it was just a joke. I don't want to talk about that on the podcast, but he like messages me out of the blue. He's like, yo, I hear he tapped that ass. I'm like, who tapped my ass? Who are you referring to right now? He's like, you would know, blank. You're like, you know who? And I'm like, that was a joke, dude. He's like, yeah, I figured you wouldn't let someone else hit before me. Like, he still wanted me. Like, this was like 6 months after like we had our whole fucking spat and like we made up and whatever. And then like maybe a week later, he sends me a video of like him just like shaking his ass on the beach, just like randomly. And I'm like, I left him on red, and I haven't spoken to him since.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna grab somebody who works at the nearest Outback and just be like, all right, you're Greg, right?
You're gonna grab somebody, huh?
Yeah.
It's gonna be exactly him.
Are you gonna
you'll
grab
send
him
me-
like Greg grabs, or?
Oh my
I gotta
god!
get back after what he did to him, you know.
You'll send me a picture and be like, "Yo, Joe, is this Greg?" And I'm like, "Holy shit, you fucking found him! What the hell?"
Yeah, he's in Little Rock, Arkansas now, man.
Honestly, I forget where he's from originally. He definitely was not in my home state. He definitely did not like grow up in my home state. I'm like trying specifically not to like name my state. But yeah,
in the home state.
yeah. So that's the story of Greg and the man I accidentally seduced and he like sexually assaulted me.
You know, okay, Greg brought up a question in my head. I just
Yes.
gotta ask.
Yeah.
Have you guys? When was the time you guys just non-voluntarily got your booty fingered? I know it was Greg for you.
So I've had my booty non-voluntarily fingered before, just like from friends, just like, joking around, haha, joking around. I'm gonna shove my finger up your ass.
Oh, I'm not talking about joking. I'm talking like knuckles deep.
Ooh.
Never.
I had to have a tube shoved up my ass like 6 years ago to see if I had hemorrhoids. Spoiler alert, I do.
Wait, hold on, you
only-
as in you still have them?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I have IBS and I have hemorrhoids. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it sucks, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, shit sucks. Shit sucks.
Shit sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the only time I've ever had anything up my ass, and that was just awful.
See,
I've had it happen to me 3 times.
okay, yep.
Let's hear it.
So first and second time was the same girl. We were dating for a while. She was very adamant about wanting to peg me, and I was very much not for it. Not
Yep.
really with it. Not my thing. So I was spending the night at her place. It's about, I don't know, pretty late at night. I'm passed out. I wake up to this really weird feeling in my ass. I'm like, this is what's going on here? And I try to turn around, and I feel her arm go with me.
Holy shit!
So now she is trapped under me, so she has no way to like say, "Oh, what happened?" Like act as if she's sleeping. Like she is caught. So I'm like, "Hey,
She's caught brown-handed.
yeah, what the fuck are you doing?" And then I feel it come out, like 3 fingers come out of my ass, and I'm sitting there like, "Hey, I'm not for that. This feels weird. I don't want to do this like at all." And she was like, "Okay, I'm sorry about that. I thought you would be like a little excited when I'm like, no, I genuinely don't." Then, passed by a couple months, enjoying some steamy like in the shower, couple shit. I turn around for half a second, finger up the ass.
Oh my god!
Like,
she,
I'm not
she
talking-
wanted it.
I'm talking like grab the shoulder, fucking Spartan shove that shit.
Oh
in,
my god!
Oh no.
Like that Skyrim animation when you like grab the back of the dude and you just shove the sword through the middle of him? Like,
Oh
this
my god!
full power force. Think about that. About
She
a foot
fucking
lower
Fusro
and just
died your asshole.
dude. It wasn't like, oh, it's just something in there. No, it felt like I got fucking dick punched up my ass.
So she was like in the Dark Brotherhood, but instead of hitting you with a dagger, she was just putting her finger up your ass.
Exactly. And then the final one. I'm at a party. I broke up with this girl. It's probably been a year and a half since then. With some buddies, we're up, huge bonfire out in the middle of the mountains, just enjoying our dime. We got tents. We're gonna camp out for the night. I meet this girl there. We start hitting it off, and it ends up with me kicking my buddies out of our tent type of situation.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, and I'm enjoying the time, and then about mid thrust, I just felt something go up my ass, and it was understandable when you've been dating someone for a year and a half. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
whatever. You it's okay. I forgive you. I met this woman 2 hours ago.
Oh. Oh
So-
damn. Yeah.
Yeah. So she
That's
just
not
went
cool.
straight for it. Yeah, I was also like 18. She was like 30, so it was really weird.
Oh.
Yeah, it was one of the strangest moments of my life.
Cardinal punching up, I see.
Yeah, it ended up with me straight up just kicking her out, and like my buddies were sleeping in my car because I had fucking one of those big ass wagons back in the day.
Yeah.
And I just walked over there, knocked on the fucking back door. I'm like, hey, you guys can just come in the tent. Yeah, nothing's gonna happen.
I gotta figure out what parties you guys are going to, because closest sexual encounter I've had was a friend in middle school tried to stab my ass with a pencil.
Oh God.
I don't know. Like, so I know the first time something entered my asshole because it was my own finger.
Same.
Well, welcome to Joey figures out. Oh wait, I've been gay all along.
All along.
All along.
So I used to be like insanely religious, which is really funny looking back now. Like I used to like fucking read my Bible in the morning, read my Bible at night, carry my Bible with me to school, blah 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 blah. And I went to youth group every Friday. And I remember this one night, I got home, I hopped in the shower because there's a skate park there, and I just went there just mainly to skateboard more than anything else. I just happened to get very religious in the process. And one night I'm like cleaning up, and you know, obviously you wash your cheeks and you clean that crack, right? Like I'm not alone in there. Like y'all, okay. I before I continue, I need to y'all fucking clean your crack, right?
Yes.
Hopefully y'all do.
I go to great lengths to make sure my crack is clean. Yes.
Okay.
I do the back and forth with the soap, and then I get a couple fingers in there just for good measure.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
I put a bunch of soap on the side of my hand and just
get
all up in there.
So for me, the process is like, okay, I'm lathering up my body, I'm cleaning up everything else, and then, just takes the remainder, just get all up inside there. Non-dominant hand, by the way. That's the trick for me. Non-dominant hand.
I also use my non-dominant hand.
But anyway, back to the time that I fingered myself. I was like cleaning up and I'm like, let's try this out. And like, okay, not bad. Yeah, that was the first time. And then there was a time I got sexually assaulted at work. And then, I don't know, me and my friends just sometimes just poke each other's buttholes while we're just walking around. Like, it just happens. When your partner's just like walking by and you like smack them in the ass, sometimes you just go boop.
These are normal platonic interactions.
I guess that's normal for me. And that's weird. It's weird to me that it's weird to you.
Yeah, okay, it's not completely out of like.
I don't think it's that weird, honestly. Like most of my friends like.
Yeah.
I just like I feel like I would like. That's the kind of shit I would do to someone if they were like as fucking insane as I am. But none of my friends like in real life are as much of a fucking maniac as I am. Not that I'm saying you're a maniac for doing that, but. Just I don't know. That's the kind of shit I would just do. I would do that.
As I've apparently discovered, I'm just a very sexually charged person. Apparently,
one of my best friends was.
Me and my boys would just. Oh, go for it, man. Go. My bad.
All right. One of my friends was wearing a VR thing. I was hanging out at his house, and he was trying the thing I had. And so while he was doing that. While he was distracted, I grabbed his PS4 controller and just started like rubbing his leg, or just tapping him on his leg and then on his butt. I don't think he noticed the first couple times, but then I kind of started like really kind of rubbing, and then he noticed.
I was really expecting you to be like, yeah. And then I grabbed his penis while he was wearing the headset.
He thought I had his penis on.
Okay, y'all just fucking remind me of one of the greatest fucking stories of my life right here.
Oh, go for it.
Oh,
so,
boy, I cannot wait.
Go for it.
I have this one of my best friends. I'm not gonna say his real name. We'll call him Bill. Bill's nickname is Big Titty Tina. Big Titty Tina is one of my favorite people. He's one of the nicest dudes in the world. Just one of those big dudes. You're like, oh yeah, you're like a homie. Like no matter what, you're always there,
Yeah.
One of those, this solid dude. So he does not smoke weed. He's not much for it. He'll occasionally do it, but he's not like more of a nicotine type of dude.
Yeah.
Which I ain't gonna throw that. I vape. I do that shit too. But I went over to a buddy's house. With him, and we're all hanging out. It's like 4 or 5 of us, and we're all taking insanely potent dabs. Like I'm talking probably 80-85%, like the really good stuff.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
So all four of us are pretty seasoned stoners. So we're taking a couple, enjoying it, playing some Forza with, enjoying our time.
Yeah, you're vibing with the boys.
Yeah, he's chilling in the corner on this one. All right, so I have to set up the room. So it's just a smoking room. It's a futon. There's a table over on the left hand side on the futon, and then a beanbag chair right next to that table. The room is probably 10 feet by 10 feet. It's a tiny ass.
I got it.
room.
I'm drawing up the plans.
And then there's a TV right in front of us. That's it.
Okay.
So we're all sitting there enjoying it, and my buddy's like, you know what? I'll take a dab. We're like, okay, sure, man. We'll give you a small one. We'll be pretty easy. So we don't just give him like a dab. We literally like half of one. We smoke half of it and give him the other half.
Yeah.
And we're chilling. We're enjoying the night, and about 15 minutes pass, and then he just stands up and he's like, guys, I'm gonna kill myself.
What? Whoa!
No,
That's a left turn.
This is not the end.
Oh,
he's like,
I know.
Yeah. He's like, man, I don't know, guys. Like, my truck's dying. He just got a brand new truck. He's like, all this. It's like my job's failing, but he has like one of the best jobs out of all of us. Like, just shit that doesn't make sense. He goes on that rant for about 10-15 minutes, and then he just flips 180 degrees and goes, guys, my dick's a frisbee. It's 1 inch. It's 1 inch long, 24 inches wide. It is just a disc right here. And this man is standing up, like full on fucking rapper throwdown arms, saying this, like vibrant, like my dick is a frisbee, guys. It's no woman can fit it. It just slaps them, It's like that shit. And we're like, okay, man, hell yeah. We're all sitting there, just normal. We're like, this guy's fucking going insane. And he just starts sitting, and then he just pulls his arms out in this tiny ass room and starts fucking Beyblade spinning around. He gets fucking super dizzy, trips on the beanbag chair, fucking hits his head on the table and knocks himself out.
Holy shit! I want to party with Big Titty Tina.
Big Titty Tina is one of my favorite people. He is an absolute mad lad.
Can I invite Big Titty Tina as a birthday party entertainer for small children?
Bro, he did that one time, and then a month later, it was my buddy's birthday. We all took off there. It was this like 20 or 30 of us in his house, and he decided to sit right next to his $10,000 stereo setup.
Oh no!
This will come into perspective. He is in an armless like office chair, just vibing next to it.
Yep.
We had this joint was probably one of those foot-long fucking crazy ones.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, just sharing it around all of us because it's like 20 of us. That's probably more than enough.
That's what you do with 20 people that all smoke. You make a giant ass joint.
This man takes 2 hits, okay? He takes 2 hits, and then he just lays back in the chair, and I look over to watch him just roll over and knock down one of the fucking speakers.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Tina, no.
Tina is a legend. Tina is amazing. Just don't give Tina weed.
Holy shit. Oh, my God. I want you to know I was fucking crying when you said my dick is a frisbee.
Bro, this is the man. I will go to his house and he'll just text me, yeah, I'm in my room, come on up. And I'm like, all right, cool. Walk on in, say what's up to his roommates, open his door, and just see him naked on his fucking sofa with a towel over his lap, playing fucking Fortnite. And he would just be like, yeah, just turn around over there, man. I was like, look out his window real quick when he's fucking naked behind me changing, Man does not care. Man is a legend.
Holy shit, actual legend status. What the fuck, dude? That's crazy.
I thought you were gonna you walk in, you see him naked, and then he's just gonna keep me waiting.
Oh no, I was expecting
you gonna show me that frisbee dick, boy?
I expected you to be like, yeah, I opened the door and he was just jacking it like full on. He wasn't even like looking at anything. He was just looking at the wall.
There was this weird
Are you ready to feel the frisbee?
Because there was the one thing about it.
Frisbee.
So I'm gonna be honest. He's not a very good-looking man. Just I love him.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah.
His sister, though.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Please tell me. Please. Okay, continue. I want to know where this goes.
So I've known him since probably right at the end of middle school. So the first first few years I knew him, I would just go over to his parents' house, and his sister's door was like right across from his, and every single person that would go in there would be like, "Hey, bro, your sister's really fucking hot." Like,
it was one of
straight
those
to-
dynamics where like she walks out there and everyone goes, "Dude, I'm gonna fuck your sister."
Yeah, literally. One of my buddies, which was really weird because he ended up living with him for a while, was like, "Dude, I want to fuck your sister," like straight up to his face. It was so weird. There was like that connection, and it turns out our parents knew each other from like their high school years. So like anything that he would tell his mom, she would tell my mom, and then shit would happen back in the day. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Did you get it though?
No. She was like 8 years older than me, man.
Well,
I mean, how old were you at the time?
30-year-olds when you're 18.
I was like 16, 17.
Okay.
So you just wait a year or two, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Plonk, that's called grooming.
Not if you're grooming yourself.
Okay, I walked right into that one. Turn back and start playing.
Oh no.
Bro. We have all seen somebody in anime or some kind of media. You're fucking 11, 12 years old. You've got that prepubescent hormones, rushing through your body, and you're just like, I want to fuck that. When I grow up, I'm gonna fuck that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, I rest my case.
So,
made from Pokemon.
I want to pick something up that Plonk said, that you need to go to more parties. Plonk, I want to hear some party stories from you if you've been to any parties, even if they're like lame. I want to hear some crazy stuff from you.
Hey, hold on. All right. There was I guess technically my uncle's Halloween party. He used to do a big Halloween party every year, and there would be like 50 to 60 people there. There'd be time spent on lights and props outside, music, costumes, whatever, right?
Hell yeah.
And I basically I was looking at everything, and then I thought to myself, you know what this party needs? Lasers. So I think what I did was I ran upstairs to his attic and stole a laser projector and started messing with it.
Okay.
And just started projecting it on the side of the building. I must have turned the knob very, very far because it was strobing like crazy. It was very distractingly bright, and it was flashing at like 30, 40 times a second. It was pretty intense. It was basically a big circles of strobes.
So
A seizure
was anyone
machine.
like epileptic?
And let's just say one person had to go to the hospital that night.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
No.
So I was not allowed to play with the laser projector after that.
Did you kill them? Did they die?
No, they're fine.
Okay, I was gonna say, damn, that's the second person I met that's like indirectly killed someone.
No.
Who was the first person you met?
I did indirectly. I don't know if they died, but I did indirectly cause somebody to have a very. They cracked their skull open, bleeding from the top of the face. Because when I was, let's see, I must have been 7 or 8 years old, right? I was in the back seat of the car. My mom was driving, and I decide that I'm gonna grab something of hers, some grocery bag or something from the front seat, and start playing with it. And I'm being very loud while I do this, and there's nobody else to stop me, so she has to turn around and get the bag from me so that I stop distracting her. But there's a red light on the intersection, and she hasn't noticed it. And by the time she turns around, she is a mere couple feet away from a car and fucking T-bones the shit out of it. And it was mostly my fault.
Oh no.
No.
And
Oh man.
the hopefully nobody in that other car died, but I did catch a glimpse of one of the people in the car. They had like a big. They were wrapping like some heavy bandage around her face because she was bleeding really heavily from the front.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
That's
that
probably
went
the
way darker than I
closest
thought.
I've
Holy
been to
fuck.
indirectly killing someone.
I need that soundbite out of context.
Yes.
That's a good soundbite out of context.
Yeah, it is.
This guy
It's very
got
good.
blocked. I'm joking. No, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
That's that's fucking awful, dude.
I
Holy
can't even
shit.
imagine. I literally can't even comprehend that. Like,
I was thinking, oh, that's gonna be a nice little heartfelt story. No, we just went really fucking dark.
No, we did.
I
And we're back.
I've
Yeah,
noticed
we're
I'm
back.
just and we're back. I'm just much darker than I think I am. I guess most of the
like
time.
2 weeks,
Plonk,
2 weeks in
you're
a row.
You're a lot darker. Like you've got a much darker side to you than I previously anticipated.
Yeah,
But
what the
that
fuck?
I mostly.
I mean, I was 7 years old, right? I didn't. I didn't think playing with things in the car was gonna cause an accident. You know, I didn't know any better.
Like you fucking know like troll despair. Like I'm just that right now. I'm just like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
man. I'm like
God, man.
I'm
Can
like
I tell?
shocked.
Wait, can I tell a party story?
Go for it.
All right. So I've really only ever been to 2 proper parties, which that is not something that defines me as a person, because God, like, if I could go to parties, I fucking would. But you know, the
You're not
big
missing
evil
much a lot of the
Kyogre
time.
virus that's happening. If
Kyogre.
that didn't,
That'd be a better name.
Yeah, if Kyogre virus didn't exist, then I would be going to parties all the fucking time. But I remember. Okay, so this story actually requires quite a bit of backstory, so I'm gonna just tell all of it.
Pidge
So-
lore.
Yes, Pidge lore. I used to smoke weed all the fucking time.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah, and I basically I had gotten fired from a job. I stopped smoking it for 2 months, and then when I got a new job, I started smoking again. But then whenever I would smoke, I would just become nauseous, like super incredibly nauseous, have panic attacks, and also be like unfathomably high all at the same time. And those 3 things in conjunction are
that's
not
an
a good
awful
combination. And that would happen to me literally no matter what strain I would consume, no matter how I did it, whether it was carts, you know, a bong, a joint, blunt, edibles, whatever. It was always the same result. So it was basically just if I consumed THC, that would happen to me. I would just basically just feel like I'm dying, essentially. And it wasn't always like that. I don't know what the fuck caused it. And it got to a point where I would just be utterly terrified of getting high. And honestly, I'm still like this, but whatever. But I was at this party, and you know, overall, I was having like a really great time. There was lots of alcohol, which was good. It was like honestly one of the first times I really got like really drunk. But I remember somebody had brought. They just had like a little Tupperware container of just nondescript brownies.
Oh.
And I remember eating a couple, and I started freaking out because then I thought, wait, these are probably edibles. And in my mind, I was thinking, okay, I'm probably gonna get really high and like fucking die. Not die, but feel like I'm dying. So what I gotta do is I gotta drink more because that'll make me pass out, and then I won't feel the horrible effects of this shit. So I remember like they had like I don't know what alcohols they. I think they had like spiced rum and like shitty whiskey and like Coke. And I remember making a mixed drink of like spiced rum, whiskey, and Coke. And honestly, it was a pretty good drink, by the way, gotta say. As it turns out, the brownies were not edibles. They were just regular ass fucking brownies.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and so I end up like just so it was a really big house. I can't even remember whose house was it. I think it was somebody's birthday. It was like like my friend was like cool with this girl, and her sister was having like a birthday party, and so I'm just out there on the fucking like patio, just fucking vomiting my fucking brains out because I drank so fucking much, and like I also the two people I went there with, I was the one who drove them there.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm just there, just vomiting my fucking guts out, and they're like, "Dude, you gotta sober up," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So like, I'm trying to sober up, and it's working.
One of the
What?
So one of the parties I went to, they had rum and coke, like they were giving it out to people, and I grabbed some, and it something tasted off. You know, a couple shots later, nobody was getting drunk, and people were kind of getting frustrated. And it turns out none of the rum and coke they were selling was like alcoholic. It was just rum extract and coke.
That's fucking evil. I would attack someone. I would be throwing hands. But
I think some people were.
But anyway, so like at this point I'm like drunk off my fucking ass, and like I'm starting to sober up a little bit. I didn't realize this, but my buddy Eric, who I went to the party with, the girl, it wasn't the girl's birthday, it was her sister's birthday. I didn't know this at the time, but they were like, they had like a will they won't they thing, and I was entirely unaware of, and like they were kind of like, no, I didn't fuck her or anything. I actually just ended up cock blocking him, just completely.
Oh, that's worse.
Yeah, it was worse. I was just, they were like, yeah, you should probably stay here, and like I didn't notice, but they were like holding hands and shit, and I was like literally, everything was fucking spinning. I couldn't see a fucking thing. And I know I had work the next morning at like fucking 10 o'clock. So at this point it was like 1 in the morning, and like this place was like way out of the way of where I worked. But I was like, no, I should probably go home. Blah, blah, blah. But basically, I just fucking completely cock blocked my friend because I was just completely like beyond shit faced. I was like, my soul had left my body, and I just completely cock blocked him, and somehow I managed to drive him and my other friend home on the highway, being unbelievably drunk, and like they both lived at two separate locations that were like 15 minutes away from each other, and I still managed to get home.
Kids, remind me to never let you drive me anywhere.
Look, I've since...
I will search your car for alcohol before I think about
that.
that.
Find is like trash in my car. My car is really messy. I'm like really bad at cleaning it. There's no alcohol. Why would I put alcohol in my car? If I'm putting alcohol anywhere,
I don't know. I'm gonna breathalyze you before I get into the passenger seat.
That's fine. That's fine. You can feel free, and I'll pass.
I think this was like 2 years ago. I was at a party out in the middle of absolute nowhere, because every party in my area is probably 50 miles from the closest town. And I was the designated driver because I was like, yeah, we can take my car up. I had a really nice Subaru Impreza, really well done. Since it was kind of a dirt road, all my buddies had rear-wheel drive cars, so I was DD that night. And I ended up drinking probably, I would say, half a bottle of Fireball right when I got there, which did not start off the night. This ended up with like people coming out of the house to see me doing shadow puppets of sucking a dude's dick, stuff like that night.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was one of those nights where you're just way too drunk. So one of my buddies who doesn't drink was like, hey man, I'll drive your car home, no issue. I'm like, okay, totally. Not thinking about it when I was pretty wasted. Turns out he doesn't have a license, and my car is it's not stock. Let's just say that. It was pretty zoomy. So the only thing I remember from after that was there was this one group of friends in another car. They're like, all right, we'll follow you out. And by the time we got onto the main road, I couldn't see their headlights behind us. And I know they sped a lot. So we were going pretty fast. get home.
How fast were you?
I don't know, but I woke up the next morning not knowing. I remember leaving, not getting home, but I come out to my car with 3 curved wheels and like a fucked front bumper. So I don't know what happened that night.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh god. I have thankfully I'm pretty strict about when and where I drink, just because I have parents that are alcoholics, and I learned from them what not to do. So I'm pretty good about, like, I will never drink and drive. I have on occasion, like, had a beer and then, like, okay, I need a drink, or like I've had a shot and like, okay, I need to drive. But those are usually like few and far between, and it's never like I'm usually like fine enough. Like, I don't like doing that. I have done it on occasion, but I very much try to never, ever touch the car if I have a drink. Like, if I can, I will avoid that. Ooh, actually, since we're doing party stories, this is a great one. So this is I don't think it was the first party I went to, but it was my first college party. And I used to party a lot in college. By party, I mean I had a group of friends that we would get very drunk, and a lot of people knew us as the drunk boys. Side note, fuck those guys, a bunch of racist assholes, but they kept buying me alcohol because I kept making them laugh. So, joke's on them.
Fuck it, I guess.
Yeah, fuck it, I guess. So, the first college party I went to, context, I went to a school that had one frat on campus, and it was a bunch of aviation majors, and I just happened to be friends with a lot of them. I don't know how it happened, but I was just friends with a bunch of the aviation nerds. So, this one night, they're like, hey, the frat's doing this event where they're gonna take us to go see a Diamondbacks game. I was in Arizona at the time. And I'm like, okay, cool. I've never been to a baseball game. I fucking hated it. It was the most boring shit in my life. Fuck baseball, dude. Don't understand people who like watching it. It's actually worse than watching paint dry. Anyway, so we don't take... Are you trying to defend baseball right now?
Okay, I'll defend playing baseball, not watching it.
Okay, yeah, no, I can totally understand playing baseball. Watching it, absolutely dreadful. Never want to do it again. Awful. Yeah. Sorry to the people that like baseball, I guess.
Also, football's not fun to watch either.
I would prefer football versus baseball, but I would also prefer to not do either.
Yeah. The only good thing I remember about seeing my high school...
That, by the way.
My high school's football team, the only good thing I remember about going to see them was getting the, like, TGI Fridays potato skins. They had some catering over there. That was it.
Yeah.
Bro, so I used to play football in high school, and I will admit, even playing it's not fun. Like
I've played a bunch of, like, tag and stuff, and, like, two-hand touch or, like, light tackle. Like, that's fun. I'm fine with that. But
Two-man touch.
I was the one, like, oh, you're like a skinnier guy who can hit really hard. We'll put you on the defensive end, which is like guy who runs in to hit the quarterback every time. So
no,
like,
I go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, my bad. I played for 3 years out of my 4 years in high school. I quit senior year because I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. But
fair, valid.
I genuinely remember because they're like, oh, you're a decent guy, but I'm like decently sized. But the thing is, I'm only like 6'1", like 165. I am tiny.
Oh, no.
I'm a skinny.
It's stick boy.
Stream meat. I'm not joking. Since I also did wrestling, and my middle school had green leotards, and they got me the nickname Stream Bean solely for that reason. Like, that's how skinny I was. Like, I was tiny, and so I was so determined every time I'm gonna get it, I know the plays, I know how to do it, all this. I probably would get laid out on my ass 9 out of 10 times, because always the offensive linemen are these 300-pound just chads of men.
Oh yeah, well that's what the offensive linemen are. They're just hunks of man. That's all they are.
And there's a thing in my area with referees that they're just ignore, like, unsportsmanlike conduct. So
annoying.
It wasn't usually, oh, he hit me. It was, oh, there's an arm out in front of my head, or oh, there's like somebody straight up just grabbed my fucking jersey and just threw me down and shit. Like, it wasn't fun. It was not an enjoyable game.
Yeah, no, I've played a bunch of sports. Never like like on like a school team or like whatever, but definitely like I played sports recreationally. I've always liked playing basketball. Basketball was always my jam. If I had like my choice of like sport to play for like the day or like the weekend or whatever, I'm like I'm always going to choose basketball. I've always found basketball to be a lot of fun. But anyway, I was telling a story about my first college party. So
yeah, shit.
yeah, we just totally got sidelined. That's why I was ready to go on. I'm totally ready to go back to that. But anyway, so they organized a either a bus or some other carpool thing. I forget. Regardless, we didn't take the provided rides. Instead, we had my buddy, let's call him Carl. I had my buddy Carl.
Hi, Carl.
Yeah, no, not his name. We'll call him Carl.
Hi, Carl.
We borrowed Carl's car and we went to the game. Whatever. It was 2.5, 3 hours of my life that I wasted away being bored out of my mind. So we're getting ready. It's like at bottom of the ninth, and my buddy goes, "Hey, there's a party like 20 minutes away from campus. Do y'all want to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. That sounds cool." And they're like, "Okay, cool. Heads up. Girls are free. Guys pay $5," which was just the thing in the area that I lived in. If you went to a house party, girls got in for free. If you were a dude, it was like either $5 or $10 a head to get in, which is scummy, and I hate it. But I also understand why they're doing it, and honestly, good on them for capitalizing. Totally respect that, I guess. Shitty, but I have to respect it. Whatever. Anyway. So we get to this party, and we all just like disperse, essentially. I'm kind of like mingling and whatnot. People are playing beer pong, and I make my way to the kitchen, and I start mixing drinks, and I get very drunk way faster than I wanted to. I didn't eat that day, and if you've been drinking, if you ever drank before, you usually, if you're on an empty stomach, you're gonna get drunk a lot faster. So I was like 2-3 drinks in, and I'm feeling loose. Now, this era of Joby was a social butterfly. I managed like 3 to 4 very different friend groups, and I floated between them all wonderfully, and being drunk only accentuated that. So I apparently have spots in my memory that night, because I was the de facto like freshman like college guy. I'm like going around, I'm like sucking at beer pong, I'm just like chatting everybody up, and then the house owners bust out a keg, and they're like, "Okay, who wants to do a keg stand?" Now, I love drinking just anything really fast. I don't know why that is. That's just always been something that I've loved to do, just chugging drinks. I beat everyone in my high school. I would challenge people to like, okay, who can drink faster? I would beat them so fast, it's ridiculous. So I'm like,
bro,
yo, I want to do a keg stand. So they're like, yo, who wants up? They're like, one person goes up. They last like 3 seconds, and I'm like, yo, you suck. Let me at that keg. And they're like, okay, who the fuck are you? I'm like, my name's Joe. I'm from blank state.
Joe?
I'm Joe. I'm from blank state. I'm a freshman. They're like, okay, freshie, let's see what you got. I'm like, okay, lift me up, boys. I go for like 30 seconds. They have to drag me off the keg. They're like, dude, you're about to drain our keg. Who the fuck are you? Like, that was sick. And I'm like, I told you, I'm Joe. What's up, dude?
Oh, mess with fucking Joe.
And like, I just become the life of the party. Like, everyone's like, yo, you see that kid?
The
like,
wife?
He fucking put that away. Oh my god, I get fucking slammered, dude. Awful.
So I dare you to chug an entire bottle of dihydrogen monoxide right now.
I
bet
you should do that.
I think you should do that as well.
So anyway,
clearly you've not played No Man's Sky, but anyway, go on.
So anyway, party continues on. I'm floating around. I'm talking with everybody, and then I go outside because it's really warm inside the house. If you've ever been in any sort of party with a lot of people, it gets super warm,
It gets hot.
super quick. It's uncomfortable. So I go outside. Like, there's a bunch of people smoking, and I see one of my friends that lives down the hall from me. And at the time, I was still like casually into League. She was also into League, so we just start chatting it up. And you know, she's smoking a cigarette. I take a few hits off it. This was before I started vaping and smoking and shit. And we're just like chatting. She just like leaves. So I just like sit down back against the wall, and I'm just like watching. My buddy Carl comes and just starts dragging me. He's like, dude, I've been looking for you for the last 20 minutes. Where the hell have you been? I'm like, oh, I've been out here with all my friends. There's like 6 or so people out there, and like no one's really paying the fuck attention to me. Like my time has passed. I'm just out there vibing. He's like, okay, well, come on, let's go. Dude's dragging me by the back of my shirt, and as he's dragging me out, I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm Joe. How's it going? What's up? What's your story, dude? I'm just like dapping up everybody. He's just like, no, shut up. You have to go. We're leaving right now, and you have no way of getting home, because he was DD. I was like, man, all my friends are back there. What the fuck? They take me back to the dorms. It's whatever for the rest of the night. Nothing crazy happens. I didn't know until the day after that I did the whole like, yeah, I'm a freshman, woo, like acting like the fucking crazy freshman guy from like every college movie. Like a bunch of my friends were like, a bunch of my friends would see me pass the halls and be like, yo, it's freshman. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. What's up?
Oh no.
No. Good times. Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that how you really feel, Pidge?
That's how I generally feel most of the time, yeah.
That's fair. All right. And we're back.
And we're back.
Welcome to...
Welcome to it. What was that?
What indeed?
Sorry, I had a throat in my frogs.
Oh.
Fascinating.
Fascinating indeed. All right. Well, who else has got a topic? Or are we just kind of winding down, I guess?
Well,
I do have one more.
Okay.
That we could throw out here. So I have one goal this year, and I've learned that it's 100% legal in my state. I'm gonna buy a fucking tank.
Okay, I saw that you posted
I'm literally
that.
in it.
What kind of tank are you talking about?
So there's one right now on my local Facebook marketplace. It's a 1930s British four-wheeled artillery tank.
Okay, that is the kind of tank that you were talking about. For some reason, I was thinking water tank. But I'm like, no, that's
why
not
would you
interesting.
think anything else? Why would you think anything besides a military tank?
I don't know.
Honestly, I thought Continental was just really horny for Pidge or me.
I mean,
What?
How could he not be horny for me? But anyway.
That's fair, yeah. Continue.
What?
So, tank, British artillery.
Yes, British artillery tank. It is owned by a very old man who does not want it. It already it runs, it drives, but it only goes like 30 miles an hour, so it's not fast. But it is a fucking tank.
And how much is it?
Genuinely want this. It's a lot of money. But here's the thing. I already talked to my bank, and they're like, yeah, you can get a loan out. So I am going to take out a substantial loan just to buy a fucking tank.
What are you going to do with this tank?
Why don't you just save money?
I'm gonna be straight up with you boys. I got 4 cars that run and like 20 that don't. Like, I have a collection issue with vehicles.
Okay.
The next stage is buy a fucking tank.
Oh my god.
I support it. I support
Holy
it.
shit. You're actually gonna be the guy that, like, fucking joins, like, Ukraine and fighting Russia. They're like, yo, this crazy guy down in Oregon, he's got, like, 20 cars and a tank. We the U.S. military, can't beat that.
Holy shit.
So, back in the day when they were doing, like, the first couple of James Bond movies, they had a bunch of the spare props for the guns that would pop out. one of my buddies who runs a salvage yard has one of the guns that were never used, like for the fucking Aston Martin, like pop out guns.
Okay,
And I genuinely want. I have a Lincoln 98, a '68 Lincoln 98. That's my fucking baby, and I genuinely want to put it on that, just somewhere hidden, just shit like that. My car. I've gone from. I have. A couple cool cars. I got my drag car, I got my drift car, shit like that. Now I want a tank and a gun car. Like, it has gone from reasonable to, like, I want to, like, be on a watch list.
Nice.
I fully support it.
You don't need to say the dollar amount. How many, like, figures in middle, low, or high?
6.
6 figures.
6.
I see.
Low
Speaking
6,
of-
medium 6, high 6?
Low 6, barely 6.
Barely 6. Okay. Yeah,
Bitch.
wow.
So I've already talked to him. I have a couple old like Firebirds and shit like that he wants. So I'm trading him those and then half price of the tank. So
Okay.
I'm very determined to get this tank.
What did
I
you
want this
tell
tank.
the bank?
I'm buying an off-road vehicle.
I mean, you're not lying to them.
I'm not.
That's correct. I get that is technically correct. Yeah.
The worst part is the guy at the bank. We bonded over our love of cars, and he's like, "Dude, you get like a side by side." I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm getting the new RXR. Hell yeah, one of the new Mavericks." No, I'm buying a 1930s British fucking tank.
Fucking go for it. Live your best life.
Damn
Yeah,
straight.
honestly.
Pidge, I found a Pidge coin.
A what now?
I found you on one of my coins.
That is James Garfield.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he has my hairline, but his beard isn't as long as mine.
That's true. That's true.
Definitely has my hairline though. That's for sure.
So you just straight up told the bank that you were getting a tank, and they were like, "Yeah, dude, that sounds sick."
No, the bank thinks I'm getting a side by side.
Okay.
So the bank thinks I'm getting like an RXR, or like the Mavericks, like those little off-roaders.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I
So
like
they
to
think
call
I'm getting
them
that.
golf trucks.
Dude, they were like, okay, we can go for about average price of about 40,000. I'm like, no, I'm looking at like the top of the line. I'm not looking at the top of the line, but I just need a bigger loan.
Oh my god. We're gonna like hear back from you in like a month, be like, guys, I'm in financial ruin right now. I can't do the podcast anymore.
Guys, I'm in
the thing is,
crippling debt, but
I
I want to
really
take.
hope you don't go into debt. Like honestly.
I'm of two mindsets. On one hand, fuck yeah, dude, get the tank. I'll meet you down in Oregon. I want to
same.
I want to drive around this shit. And the other half of my brain is responsible, is like, please don't do that. That is a bad idea. That's a lot of money that can go towards something that's not a tank. But
Here's the
also,
thing.
it's a tank. That's sweet.
I'm all for buying a tank, but if I were doing it, I would be saving up as much money as I can and trying to not get a loan from the bank and just, doing the trading thing with the guy. Try to sweet talk him a little, bring it down.
Okay, and I'm back.
And we're back.
All right,
Welcome
and we're
back,
back.
everyone, to the Hungover Hour podcast. We all
This
had to
is
take a
part 19
communal-
of...
Okay, so I don't know where exactly we left off, but
We're buying a tank.
I know we're buying a tank, and I just had like just questions, and you kind of answered them. So you said that it's probably going to be easy if you wanted to like make a profit on this, which is
I'll rapid fire it right now.
okay.
Tank, I can afford it. Probably easy to sell because it's easy. You don't have to demilitarize it in my state, and I just want a tank because they're badass. I want to go blow shit up.
Oh
I really think you should wait and save up the money.
No, I think if you can flip, I think if you can like, if you're pretty easily able to flip it, I see no issue with that because you're like,
So
if you pay off the loan immediately, you only helping your credit.
the only reason why I'm cool with the loan is because my credit's so good that it's like insanely low interest.
Okay,
so-
yeah, that okay. I feel better knowing that information than when you were like, guys, I'm gonna take a loan out and buy a fucking tank. Because
I can afford the tank. I can afford the loan for the tank. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if your credit's really good and you're confident in your ability to flip the tank if need be, and just pay off the loan immediately, if you need to.
You guys are really adamant about flipping the tank. Do you guys think you expect me to? I'm never going to sell the tank.
I want you to have the out if necessary.
Yeah,
that is my thing.
If something happens, just know that it is an option that you can take.
That's where my head is at. Like I am all for you do your freedom move. All right, if that's the thing you want to do,
being homeless is a choice.
Shut up, Plonk.
No, look,
I am all for doing the freedom move, but I want the freedom move to not ruin your life.
Yeah, as someone who has spent the last pretty much year in crippling financial debt, like. I just need to know that you have a way out of it, because I have been in the situation where there is no way out of it, and boy howdy does that shit suck. So I need to know that there's a way out of it for you.
I am your supportive friend that's like, yeah, dude, jump off the cliff, do it. Just make sure you have a parachute, please. I don't want you to get hurt.
Yes.
But also, jump off the fucking cliff.
Yes.
I'm not too worried about it because luckily with most of the older tanks, a lot of them are just super redone, rebuilt. I have a lot of friends who know the engines that they're now swapped with. Like a lot of them now have like LS engines, like from like the Corvette or Camaro.
Okay, yeah.
Or stuff like that. Like because the older ones are just old 1930s diesel motors that made 2 horsepower. So a lot of them have been swapped. Like this one has been swapped out. Like a lot of things have been done to it. It's got, it's well done. I'm not worried about like, oh, I bought a tank and it's broken a week.
I also imagine like if the dude has the tank, it's probably like maintained. I feel like this isn't something that you just like let rust in your barn.
No, absolutely not.
Oh no,
not in the state of Oregon. No sir.
You let a tank. That went too high. You let a tank rust in my barn.
I want you to get the tank because I want to go down and see you and fucking drive around the tank.
I also once I'm going to visit you and I'm going to ride around this tank. I want you to know that.
So the good thing is it is a 2-seater tank. There is a driver position and a gunner position.
How safe is it to like sit on the barrel of the tank and fire the round?
Let's just say if this tank rolled over, both people will be dead.
I see.
Okay.
So
I still need to see a picture of this beast.
God damn it.
Yeah, I'd really like to see a picture of this. Hold on. I'm going to go to the little gamers room while you look for the picture.
Oh my god.
Loading.
Little gamers room.
God damn it. You search tank on my Facebook and they all come up with fish tanks first.
I'm not crazy then for thinking it was like a water tank or something like that. I'm not crazy. The algorithms agree with me.
Yes.
Let me see if I can. Oh, they already have a Ford F350. Okay. What does the Ford F450 look like?
Looks like the F150.
It's just just bigger.
Yeah.
Okay, Ford F550. How high can we go? Oh, that's a big truck right there. All right, Ford F650. It just keeps getting larger. All right, Ford F750. I don't know that's how it works. All right, Ford F850. Oh, it's big.
This big truck needs small PP to drive it.
Okay, no, the Ford 850. It may not exist. There's a Ford F850 dump truck.
There is a Ford. I believe the biggest you can get is a 650. My boss used to have one. I think.
How small was
the
it?
Day.
One.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna start playing this little game where I'm like, okay, do I think Continental has seen this person's penis when they start talking about someone else?
1 sec. I found the tank.
Excellent. And pitches back just in time.
I just found myself
boys.
coming back to my.
Here's my tank.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Okay.
And we're back.
So
There's an image of the tank.
okay.
Feel free to enjoy.
Oh.
There it is. There's my
yeah.
beautiful baby.
Okay. No, this thing's kind of sick.
Yeah, you should get this.
Yeah, you see that?
You should
So-
get this.
That little, there's a little flap on the top is
Yes.
where the turret is.
Oh, that's so
Oh yes,
Oh
fucking
man,
cool.
dude, you gotta get this.
100% legal. And the dude just dropped it 10 grand, so I am hyped.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
I require you to
that's-
purchase this tank.
You gotta get this
Purchase
tank,
this
dude.
tank.
Bro, I gotta find a model of this tank to import to Gary's mod.
I agree. I agree. I think you should.
I'm gonna play prop hunt with the tank. Oh my god.
I mean, for real though.
Are we gonna be the only podcast that owns a tank?
Dude, we could do the podcast on the tank.
Oh!
Call it. Yeah, you gotta call this
Live
the
from the tank.
tank hour podcast.
Oh my
You know, Lonely Island. I'm on a boat. That's
we're in the
pussy
tank.
shit. We're on a fucking tank.
Oh my god, we're gonna be on a fucking tank.
We have to film an episode on location in the tank. All of us.
You know,
There's no amount of times I could say I'm so down to properly express how down I am to do such a thing.
What part of the U.S. are you in? How far do I have to drive?
I live on the West Coast, like on the
Okay,
West.
I'd have to fly
I'm
there.
like an hour. I'm probably like 2-3 hours away from Continental right now.
Yeah, I'm on the
Yeah,
East
you're
Coast.
probably
so
the
I'll
closest.
I'll have to fly there, but you can bet your fucking ass that I will fly there.
Oh my god, I want this to happen so bad. Holy
I am
shit.
so excited because like the way my property is set up, like I have like there's a way to my backyard, which is where I have all my shit, like my actual car stored, but my daily drivers and the shit that runs I have out in my driveway, which is like barely long enough to fit a car on. So my plan is I'm going to move my pickup truck into my backyard and park my tank right there.
You're just gonna have it on display?
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna have my tank right in front of my house. You wanna fucking rob me? Try me, bitch.
You don't ever fuck with you. You don't have a fucking tank in your
Dude.
backyard.
You're gonna be up, yeah, this guy fucked my girlfriend. Let's go fuck him up. You drive up to that dude's house, he's got a fucking tank in his driveway, you're running away.
Oh my god. Okay.
Bro.
But here's the thing. Welcome to how my brain works. Everyone will know who you are, so you can't get away with shit. Or you can get away with everything, because everyone's like, yeah, that guy's got a fucking tank.
Bro, I'm already planning on like, so I'm very lucky. I can get all the way into my downtown with like 25-mile-an-hour roads. So I'm going to cruise this down my main street.
I need you to take
Nonchalantly.
Cruising on down Main Street. You're relaxed and feeling cool.
So I have 3 plans for it. I'm gonna it's kind of rough on the paint, so I'm repainting it. I have a sound system out of one of my old trucks I'm putting in it. So it's gonna have a fucking like subwoofer in this bitch.
You're gonna see this tank driving down the street and you're gonna hear 4 big guys. Big
Guys,
guys in my
and they
eyes.
bust on my ass. There's gonna be, you're gonna see this fucking tank roll up and it's just, oh, that's the wrong one.
No. When you fire around, it does that.
You fire around and you just hear,
This is a certified hood classic.
I'm sorry. I'm imagining you with this tank. You're pulling up to your friend's house on Thanksgiving and you're playing Monster Mash.
so one of I have 3 things I really want to do with it. My buddy's got a much more rural land, so we're gonna go out there and blow a couple trucks up with
Hell
it.
yes.
I want to just cruise my downtown for a couple hours in it and scare the shit out of all the people there. And the final one, I just want literally, my uncle is a huge war vet, and I just straight up told him if I ever get anything really badass, he'll be like one of the first dudes who gets to shoot it.
Hell yeah.
And I just want him to feel that power again of shooting a tank. He hasn't done it in like 50 years.
That power once more course through his veins.
Yes.
The man was a tank. He was a tank gunner and a fucking sniper in
Oh my
Vietnam.
God.
Like this man was a badass. So I genuinely feel like he's one of the very few guys who's like, yeah, I can fire a tank safely.
Do the cops interact with you once you post tank? Do you think that, like, if you're a cop, how do you talk to a private citizen who legally owns a tank?
I'm thinking about it, like, all the cops in my town drive Chargers, and the tires on that tank are taller than the hood of Chargers.
Oh, God.
So it's like, did they try to stop you? You just drive over them.
Yo, fuck 12, man. Fuck the police.
Yeah, dude, that's the best answer you could have had. Just fucking run over them and just squish them like a bug.
I'm so hyped
I
because
don't want violence, but, like, run over their car with them not in it.
Yeah.
Dude, so the one thing is, the way my town is set up is like there's 2 main roads, 2 3-lane one-way roads, and they go all the way up and down the entire downtown, and like all the way to like both highways in my fucking town here. And I just want to get on one end of that road, cruise all the way up and down for hours, maybe go buy some weed because the dispensary I go to is at the top, like up there. You know, pull to a dispensary and tank.
You roll up to the dispensary. And they're like, is that a fucking... Is the U.S. You're gonna make people shit bricks, dude. They're gonna think the worst part is U.S. military is coming for them. And like this fucking lanky stoner kid comes out, and is like, "Yo, hey man, I need a G right now."
Yo, hey, what's up, man? Can I get an ounce from you?
Oh, no, you bypass the legal limits. You like, nah,
oh God! So the one thing I need to do is like right when I get it, I just need to put a fucking camera down with a tripod, just fucking roll that tank up, pop it out with a joint in my mouth, just like background music, badassery, because it just feels so powerful that like I'm gonna own a fucking tank.
Okay, so I'm gonna be like super like surface level. I can't wait for you to do this. To be like, yeah, I got a tank guy. Like, and then people are like, what do you mean? And then I just pull up the proof. Like, yeah, my buddy owns a tank.
Also, yeah, also, you are also going to be the tank. Like, I'm gonna be like, yeah, my friend has a fucking tank, bro.
Let's fucking go.
Holy shit.
Dude, I'm so hyped. I gotta go through some paperwork because obviously that is a weapon.
Yeah,
so it's obviously. Like, you have to do some paperwork, do some stuff. If it was demotorized, I could have just bought it as a car, but it's not. So I'm kind of like, little shit for luck. It's going to be a couple months of paperwork, but I have no issue with that.
Oh my God, we're going to have a tank by the end of the year. What the fuck?
Yes.
I can't believe that.
My summer plans is, I just want the tank to be my daily driver.
Bruh.
I'm coming to the resolution. I'm probably going to drive the tank more than my car.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I dare you to show up to work.
Office in a fucking Panzer.
Bro, that would suck because where I work, everyone's high all the time. So they would see a fucking tank pull up in front of them and be like, we're going to die.
The people are going to shit fucking bricks. Oh my God. You know what?
Exciting.
On that note, I think we got to call it there. We're not going to top that for this episode.
I think I agree. I think that's like the perfect end.
All right.
Buddy.
Connittle has a tank. All right, Connittle.
This
tank
is the
master.
tank episode.
Close us out.
So, I am coming for all of you. I have a tank. I have a gun. I hope you all have a great night. Thanks for listening.
Make sure to follow the podcast.
Have a good night.
With your friends. Bye.
Tonight might be your last. Bye-bye.